Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the PreStream podcast. I should say good afternoon. Usually it's the morning when I start my show up. Today's different because today, ladies and gentlemen, is Thursday, the 21st of April, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the return of Ask the King. After 4 months on hiatus, today Ask the King finally returns to the regular rotation here on DSPGaming. Of course, it used to be on my old vlogging channel. It's not anymore. Also, some people are asking, well, what's with the name of it now with your rebranding this year? You're right. We're going to talk all about that on the actual show coming up in just a little bit. But this is the PreStream podcast, and I have a few topics that I would like to talk about today before we get to Ask the King. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How you doing? Hope you're in a good mood. Hope you're ready for chill fun here on the stream. I got a good amount of stuff to talk about on the PreStream podcast today, although this will be an abridged podcast, meaning this podcast will end around 1 p.m. Pacific time, and then we're going to switch over to Ask the King Q&A, okay? So, since we have less time today, let's go ahead and jump in with information. All right, what are we doing for the next few days? What's going on over this weekend? Let's talk about the schedule, shall we? Okay. Today, I'm excited for the return of Ask the King. This is the show where you guys submit your questions, whether it's on my forums at DSPGaming.com, whether it's on a members-only thread here on DSP Gaming on the community tab for members exclusively to get their questions answered, whether it's patrons who pledge $20 or more to my Patreon, or whether it's people who post up questions on Twitter, or, if time's permitting, live chatters I also take questions from. So it all really depends on how long it takes to answer the questions that I have. I can tell you right now that, today, in general, when I get all the questions together, it's about 4 pages of questions. That's about how many I usually have for Ask the King, just being honest. Usually it's between 3 and 4 pages. So it's not like we have any less than usual. I will be honest, it seems like a lot of the questions this time around were reiterations or questions that have been asked in the past, and I guess people just want a more refreshed answer, but there are some original ones as well. So it should be a good show. I'll be happy just to do it after not doing it for so darn long. You know, I have 4 months away to be able to sit down and have a dedicated show where I'm here to answer your questions at length. It's not just me giving little abridged answers anymore like I usually do on my live gameplay streams, but instead it's more about me giving you a big informed answer, okay? So this should be good. Pretty good. I'm going to have a good time with it. I always have a good time with Ask the King. One of the differences is that this time around it's going to be uploaded here to DSP Gaming. It's not going to be on my vlogging channel. That channel was officially retired back in January, and I haven't used it, and I'm not going to use it moving forward unless it has like an emergency purpose. You know, if something goes wrong here and we need a backup channel, I have one, okay? And so, we'll see how it goes today. Hopefully it'll be a good show. People will enjoy it. And people will actually watch it on demand after the fact on here on DSP Gaming. I'm going to have to start a new playlist for it and everything, okay? So anyway, it should be a good show. Now, one of the weird things about today's stream, typically, we have some tiered rewards in place for my streaming. If you remember, tier 1 goal is $50, and if I hit that, I usually put on a pair of Gunner glasses. That still stands today. Usually, if we hit $100 in tips, I'll put on a hat of your choice. But we're doing Ask the King. And when I do Ask the King, I wear my cowboy hat, right? So, essentially, it's a little weird today because it's kind of shuffled around. So, here's what we'll actually do. At $50 Gunner glasses, at $100, a vest. That's right. I will actually do the vest reward at $100 today to flip things around so you actually get a reward at $100. Now, we happen to actually hit the full $150 tip goal for today's Ask the King stream. Then, if you guys want to select a different hat, we change out the actual cowboy hat, we could do that. Or if you want a vest swap, we could do that. We'll do something silly as a reward, all right? I guess we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I definitely wanted to rearrange it and not be like, oh, I'm kind of cheating you on getting rewards if we hit support goals. That would suck. I don't want to cheat my viewers, right? So, yeah, that's how it's going to work today. So, as soon as Ask the King begins after the pre-stream, whoop, this goes on for the show. Okay? All right. Cool. Yeah, someone already mentioned it. Fan of Lovecraft caught Alduin behind me. That is right. So last night we're playing Skyrim After Hours on the late stream, and someone says, it was actually Derek, he says, hey Phil, you know, back in the day you used to unbox all these collector's editions, what were some of your favorites? And I was like, man, I remember, you know, Fallout New Vegas was a good one. And he goes, well, what about Skyrim? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember, it had a cool statue. And he goes, what happened to that statue? I was like, I walked right next door and I grabbed it. I was like, I had this the whole time. I've been playing Skyrim since December, and it never occurred to me to bring the Skyrim Alduin statue into the setup. Because I'm so smart. Anyway, it's pretty nice to have some new stuff here, right? Pretty nice. So, thanks to Derek for the idea. That's now added to my setup here for streams, which is pretty cool. I like that statue, and it fits, so awesome. Like I said, this thing behind me, this setup, will evolve over time. Undoubtedly, there'll be new ideas of things to put back there or whatever, and it'll change. So, okay. All right, so, today, it's Ask the King on the first stream. It should be great. You know, return to form. How often will we be doing Ask the King moving forward? I actually scheduled the next episode for the first week of July. Because if I was doing every 2 months, it would have been late June. But guess what? Late June has a ton of games coming out. Within that last 1 week of June there, I'm not kidding, there's an exorbitant amount of games coming out. Like back to back to back. So I was like, dude, I don't want to do Ask the King that week. So I pushed it to like the first week of July. But knowing how things have been going, watch it end up getting pushed back even further, right? Okay, so anyway, Ask the King today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about tonight's late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, because it's actually pretty pertinent right now that we talk about it. So what we're doing, since I beat Kirby over the weekend, we are now going to be doing Game Pass night streams. And the way that these Game Pass nights are going to work is that members, people who are channel members of DSP Gaming, are going to be able to vote on the Game Pass game that they want to see me play on these late night streams, okay? And that's cool and all, because I like giving members new opportunities to get benefits for being a channel member, okay? The poll has been running for 24 hours, okay? But we have a problem. To be honest with all of you. We only have 141 people who voted. We have 374 members on DSP Gaming. That's a lot of members. Only 140 people voted. So you're telling me only a third of the people voted. Obviously, that's a problem. I want more than that. I want people who are members to be engaged and say, hey, now I realize I have power. I can actually control the content on the channel because I'm a member, right? So, please, if you're a member and you have not voted yet, what on earth are you waiting for? You still have time. You have this entire stream and all the way to my night stream at 6:45, so you still have like 6 more hours, okay? Please vote, all right? It's important. It really is important. Because right now we have a tie. We have a tie between I Am Fish, which was actually the runner-up of the previous poll from earlier this week, and the Forgotten Cities final ending, which takes about 2 hours to do. Now, I'm okay with either. Either one of those I feel would kind of be chill fun, and I'd have a good time with either one and interacting and chilling with you guys later tonight. But obviously we need to have a definitive winner. We don't. We actually have a tie in the voting. And right behind them, by the way, is Quake. And all it would take is a small handful of people, like 10 people, to vote for Quake, and now Quake would be in first. I'm serious. So, because so few people voted, there's now a ton of power within the hands of a very small group of people. You see? So, let's see what happens between now and the late stream. But if you guys are a member and you didn't vote, you gotta vote. I mean, this is absolutely, positively a case where it shows the amazing benefit of being a member of this channel, that just a few people voting right now can completely sway this poll and move it in one way or another, okay? So whatever wins, I'm happy. Either one of those games is cool with me. I'll be playing it at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time later tonight, and then there'll be a new poll starting tomorrow for the next slew of Game Pass stuff, okay? 2 thumbs up. Please vote. All right. That's today's streams, all right? Now, tomorrow, we do something a lot different. Tomorrow, it's going to be Elden Ring continuing on. My first actual stream of Elden Ring since returning back from break. I know it's been a while. We'll be in endgame stuff. We're actually going to be in the consecrated snowfield exploring the entire thing. Once we're done with that, we can maybe do the Dung Eater questline. If not, instead we can do the giant field, or I guess it's the field of the dead giants. You go there, and it takes you to another part of the game, I guess. I'm not exactly sure. But we're in endgame at this point. There's not much left. Okay, we got the consecrated snowfield, we got that giant area. That takes you apparently to another dungeon, and then there's the end game stuff at the Hallig Tree, and then there's the end of the game. It's still going to take me a while. Apparently this content is very challenging, and it's basically going to be a situation where it's going to probably take me about a week to 2 weeks to even beat the content because it's so challenging, and it is lengthy too. So it should be fun tomorrow. I hope you'll join me for Elden Ring on the first stream. Tomorrow night is the return of Friday Night Fights, my old school Street Fighter throwback stream that I do once a week. It's going to be on Xbox Series X again for a second week in a row. Why? Because it went really well last week. We got into a lobby with good players, stayed there for over an hour, got into a second lobby, stayed there for basically another 45 minutes, had constant competition, played a variety. Actually, we played a lot of hyper fighting, which we almost never play Street Fighter 2 hyper fighting. Played a lot of it and had a good time with it. So I am excited for more of that tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, this, I think, is the big one. This is what I announced yesterday, and people were so shocked that I announced this that their socks shot off their feet into the sky, their pants ripped at the seams, exploded, their crotches were fully exposed to the world. They couldn't believe that this Saturday, I am doing DSP Reacts to Down the Rabbit Hole, Wings of Redemption. They were, like, shocked and appalled. They couldn't believe it when they heard this news. The internet exploded. Not in a good way. Okay. So that being said, Saturday should be interesting. It's the first time I'm doing anything like that. All right. I have not really done any kind of content like that ever, but I got permission to do this from the appropriate parties. It will be the main gameplay stream, even though there's no gameplay, it's just the main stream. We'll be watching it here live. I actually got it already good to go on my Xbox Series X. I got the YouTube app installed. I got the ads disabled. We got everything going. We're ready to go. I'll be right here sitting, watching with you, listening, commenting, reacting, and freaking the fuck out at this story because I can't imagine what I'm going to see in this 2-hour video. From all the shit you guys have told me over the friggin' years, I have no idea what to expect. Let's put it that way. I bet you I'm going to be shocked multiple times. All right? Now, that being said, this is something definitely outside of my comfort zone. This is something I don't normally do. I'm only doing it because of massive demand and feedback from you guys. If this is successful, now what do I mean by that? I mean, people actually watch it, both on stream and on YouTube, okay? Because I am taking away from my regular gameplay to do this. You understand? I'm interrupting my regularly scheduled content that I would put out for my business in order to do something like this, okay? But in addition, yes, if this is successful, not only with views, but if there's contributions, if people become members, if they super chat, if they tip, if they support this stream like a normal stream, then I would consider doing this in the future. And what I mean by that is, if we don't finish the show, we could do a part 2, because I get the feeling it's a 2-hour video, but between me reacting and everything, it's probably we're not going to get through it in one stream. We're probably going to need multiple streams to do it. In addition, there's lots of other things out there that people have been interested in me doing. Already someone else said, why don't there's another really interesting video on the same channel, Down the Rabbit Hole, about there's some Final Fantasy VII house. I've never even heard of it. He said that would be a really interesting one to see me watch, okay? So anyway, we'll see what happens on Saturday. It could either go really well, and it creates a new kind of content that's good, that I could look into for the future, or it could be a horrendous mess, where everyone just comes to troll, people don't support at all, and it's just a waste of everyone's time. And if that's the case, I'll flush it. I'll pull the cord. You know, like those old-time toilets, they don't have knobs, they actually have a cord. You pull it with authority, and the toilet will go pa-tunk, and just flush it right into the fucking bowels of the world. That's what I'll do. I'll say, fuck it, I'll just never do it again. No skin on my back, but at least it's an experiment. It's something different. It's me listening to your requests, okay? So we'll see what happens on Saturday. I'm very curious to see how this goes, all right? Saturday night will be the continuation of Skyrim After Hours, the Companions quest line, which we're in the middle of right now. I'm enjoying it very thoroughly. After Companions is done, we have many other things to do. I actually got a new Daedric heart, so I could do a Daedric quest that we didn't do yet. And then I think after that, we're going to start up with one of the DLCs. Which one, I don't know yet, but I think it's time to finally start doing a DLC for the game. Okay? Then on Sunday, Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga will continue. We're still in Attack of the Clones, I know. We've done an entire stream and we're still in Attack of the Clone. But it's chill fun. I'm having a good time with the playthrough. I hope you guys are too. More of that on Sunday. Sunday night will be the next Game Pass night where members will be voting to determine the next game to be played on a Game Pass. And then on Monday, Elden Ring and Skyrim to end the week. Okay? Now, you may notice something if you're listening to that schedule. You're like, now, wait a minute. If you don't finish this Down the Rabbit Hole video on Saturday, right? Well, then when are you going to do the second half of it? Next weekend. Why? Because I want to do it at a time when everyone can show up. So I want to give enough notice. I don't want it to be like, oh, so we don't finish it Saturday. Let's just rush and do it again on Monday. But now a lot of people can't be here on Monday. I'd rather have, okay, let's do part 2 next weekend and all that stuff. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. Cool. All right. That's the schedule for the week. Hope that sounds good to everyone. Remember, we still are going for the members goal for this month. If we do hit 400, I will react to my own Down the Rabbit Hole video. That was the original reward for the month, and we're still doing it if we hit the members goal. Maybe we'll get a bunch of members on Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. Okay? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do a segment that I was supposed to do yesterday, and I got so wrapped up with everything else going on, I didn't do it. I want to do the Phil's Day Off segment today, and then we could do some quick shout-outs for contributions, and then we're going to get started with Ask the King. Sound good? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Phil's Day Off. Hello, Jade. How are you? Welcome. So, Tuesday was my day off for the week, okay? And what did I do? I'll be honest, not a lot, because I don't have money, right? Everything's been tight recently. That hasn't changed. And because of that, it was a stay-at-home day, essentially, all right? Didn't do much, stayed at home, had to go out and do errands, so I went grocery shopping, went and got pet supplies for Jasper. He needed cat treats this week. He was out, so I went and got him some cat treats and stuff like that, grabbed some odds and ends while I was out. I know you guys want an update on the ants, so I'll give you an update on the ants. For those who don't know, about a week ago, I had a big ant problem. One day, we had the back door open, and we had tons of ants come into the house, probably 30 or more we killed in one day. I already had ant traps. I put them all over the house, downstairs. They're only downstairs. And I had some ant spray that I sprayed at the back of the house. Within 2 days, the ants were completely gone. We couldn't even find an ant in the house. Okay? So then on Monday, I ran out of ant spray. And I was like, well, at least we've been spraying for several days. The ants have been gone. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Tomorrow, I'm going to go get more ant spray. It shouldn't be a concern. So, Tuesday morning, my day off, my wife says, oh, it's so stuffy down here. We got to open the back door. Let's get some fresh air. I said, all right. So, we open the back door and, doing our thing in the morning before I go out to do the errands. And the door couldn't have been open for more than like a half an hour at tops, okay? 30 minutes fucking tops. I walk to the back. There's fucking ants. I was like, now this is direct cause and effect. Direct. We opened the door, the ants are here. We had the door closed, the ants aren't here. I was spraying every day, the ants aren't here. I run out of spray, the ants are here. Okay? Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Now, admittedly, the ants had just come in, and maybe if I had let them alone, they would have eaten the ant food from the traps and gone back out the door and then all died. Maybe. I don't know. But at this point, I was getting real pissed. All right? So I killed as many as I could. It's probably about 5 I found, and then I found another bunch later on in the day. They all come in at once. So I know exactly what they're doing now. Okay? I know exactly what they're doing. They are coming in the back screen door, which is nothing you can do. It's a screen door. There's ways for ants to go through the cracks. There's no way to actually make it so they can't get in. Okay? And they're immediately going, they're basically turning right. And they're going to the you know how you call it the baseboard of your floor? It's got that wood at the bottom of your wall that they put there. I forget exactly what it's called. A piece of wood that sits at the bottom of your wall. So it's not just wall, floor. There's like a piece of wood there. So they go under that piece of wood, and I think there's a hole there. And what they're doing is they're going around the edge of the room, and I can't see them. They're actually invisible because they're under the wood, you see? So they go right under, all the way around, and then they decide to come out somewhere else in the dining room. And when they pop out, we have a dining room table with a rug under it. And they go right from wherever they pop out to the rug, and they walk around the rug in lines. And then they go from that rug to various places. Sometimes they go to the kitchen, and sometimes they try to get into the living room. So that's what they're doing. Like, we figured this out because I was actually paying attention this time. I was like, I got to figure out what the fuck they're doing. Okay? The problem is, I don't know where they're popping out of the wall. If I knew, I would put either poison there or plug it. I don't know exactly where they're popping out of the wall. If anything, I mean, if it gets really bad in this case, I could put caulk down, I guess, like caulk the bottom, so now they have nowhere to walk or get under. They can't get under that piece of wood. I could do that. The thing is, some people are like, well, why didn't you put the trap there? I did. The trap is literally at the entrance of the house where the screen door is. So they're walking right past the trap. Maybe they're grabbing food. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But they're walking right past it. Okay? They're not full-size giant ants. They're little black ones. Very small black ones. Like some of the smallest I've ever seen. I've never seen it. When in Connecticut, they were bigger. I used to have big black ants in Connecticut. No, these are little guys. Okay? So anyway, this was annoying as shit. It pissed me off again. So, once again, we killed as many as we could. Alright? And basically closed the door. I bought ant spray again on Tuesday on my day off, and I came home and I sprayed the back of the house with this ant spray. Okay? To stop it. I was like, this is ridiculous. And within one day, they're gone again. There's none. Zero. And we can open the screen a little bit, close it, and they don't come in. The ant spray keeps them away. Okay? The problem is, how long am I going to spray ant spray? You know, probably about, you know, a can will last about a week. Right? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to keep buying ant spray every week, I guess. Now, I actually got some recommendations since last time. Someone recommended a really good grade ant poison. Not, you know, little traps that you buy for a few bucks, but actually really good ant poison. That's expensive. But if this shit works, then it might be worth the cost. And I'm thinking what I can do is I can plant it right outside the back door and right inside the back door. So if they're coming in, that's the first thing they smell and eat and see is this fucking poison. All right? Because this is annoying. I don't want to keep having to go back there and spray. Every day I have to go back there and spray now. And it keeps them away. But man, that's going to be annoying if I have to do it all fucking summer. Every day I'm spraying poison out there. Right? And then if I forget one day I forget to spray, they come in the next day. Because that's exactly what happened here. Okay? So we're going to see what happens. Okay? Have I tried bribing the ants? I haven't tried that. Maybe if I went out there and I offered them a nice cash settlement, maybe they would stop this. You take a wad of cash and shove it into their anthill. They're taking, leave me alone. That usually works. Okay. All right. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So that's the update. The update is, the good news is, yes, we had them on Tuesday. Yesterday, I was spraying none. Zero. Today, we'll see. I'm hoping they stay at bay. I'm hoping the spray keeps them away. We'll find out. The real problem here is that here in Washington State, it's moist all the time. We have precipitation and moisture all the time. If it was a dry climate, number one, it would be easy to find the anthill. I used to live in Connecticut where in the summer it's dry and you can find anthills easily. You can see them popping up out of the dirt. Here, everything's wet, so you can't see shit. You don't know where they're coming from or nothing. And because it's wet every day, it kind of washes away whatever you spray out there. You see? So I guess we'll see what happens, but I got some ideas. Yes, people have also said there's better sprays. You're right. If I go heavy duty, I can probably buy a really heavy spray that may last longer, but it probably costs a lot more and probably smells absolutely fucking terrible. So if we open the door, it's going to be shitty. You know, you also got to keep in mind, you know, with Jasper, there's a pet problem here where I got to be sure that whatever I get, it doesn't hurt Jasper if he happens to touch it. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's things to think about. There's things to think about, but do our best here, you know. We still don't know what's attracting them because we haven't actually seen them like get food and leave. It'd be one thing if you could see, oh, they went directly to this thing, this food area, they're grabbing food, they're leaving. We haven't seen them get anything and leave with anything. We just see them walking around looking for food. So it's annoying when you don't know what the hell they're coming in for. They're not getting anything, you see? Okay. So anyway, that's the update with the ants. The only cool thing about the day off that was nice, we tried a new kind of food. Remember I say on our day off we usually eat out once? Well, we were home, we ordered in. We actually ordered Pakistani food. Now, this restaurant we ordered from does do Indian-style cuisine, but it actually is a Pakistani family who owns the restaurant, and they cook everything in like a Pakistani style. And it was interesting because they have things that sound like they're Indian food, but they're actually quite different. So naan bread. You know, when you order naan bread from an Indian restaurant, it comes a certain way. When they made it here, it was interesting. It was like very puffy naan bread, like very airy naan bread, and actually very soft and pulley and chewy. It was good. I think it was probably the best naan bread I've ever had, and I've had it from many different Indian restaurants. But the naan bread was really good at this restaurant. Now my wife and I each ordered a curry. I wish I could tell you here. If I tell you, I think if I bring up the menu here, I can tell you exactly what we ordered because I don't actually remember. Because it's authentic food, so I actually don't remember what we ordered. Let's see. Okay, so my wife ordered balti gasht chicken, balti gasht, okay, which is your choice of meat tossed with diced onions, tomatoes, and a black pepper, onion, and garlic-based sauce, okay, and then you pick your spice level. So she ordered spice level 2, okay. I ordered Mughlai korma, which is traditional korma cooked with onion, garlic, and almonds. Not too sweet, not too spicy, just right. And I ordered that at also spice level 2. Okay? So the food showed up, and admittedly, when it first showed up, it didn't look like it was a lot of food. And we're like, we don't know if this is going to be filling to us. So I wonder if maybe, like, this is not something we'll be interested in the future, okay? Each one of these curries came in a container that was like a little bowl, black plastic bowl with a lid. And at first it didn't look like much, all right? But when you open it up, you realize there's a lot of meat in that. Like, they loaded it with the chicken, okay? And as you start to eat, you take your naan bread, you rip it, you start dipping it, and you eat it, it starts to actually get quite filling. So even though it didn't look like a lot of food, we were actually quite full. We didn't even finish the food. So we went from thinking, oh, it's not a lot, to, oh my God, we're overly full. This is really filling meal. Okay? So my wife's was very tomatoey, and you could taste the onion, but man, there was black pepper in there, and she had ordered spice level 2. When you eat that and you keep eating it, it's increasing spice. So it starts off, oh, it's pretty mild. Oh, wait, it's kind of good. Oh, wait, it's starting to get spicy. Oh, fuck. It's really getting spicy now. Like, I ate it for, you eat it for like 5 minutes. Like, it's still going. My tongue. Like that. Okay. Now, mine was actually interesting because it was more creamy and it had almonds in it. So it actually had a sweeter taste to it. Okay. And I liked mine a lot. It was spicy. We both ordered spice level 2 because I think you go up to 4 or 5. We only ordered like middle of the road, like 2. It was pretty spicy, and I even said to Kat, I said, if we order this again, I'll probably order spice level 1 because I like the spice, but it's a little bit too much after you keep eating it. And she agreed. Like, in fact, what we did is we each ate half, and then we swapped. So then she had the one with cream and almonds, while I had the one that was more tomatoey and black peppery. So she had tons of spice and then cooled down a little bit, while I had milder, then I got spicy. So by the time we finished, it was good. It was very good. The weird part about it, mine had white meat chicken, and hers had dark meat chicken. It was still effing good. Like, each one was quite good. But I'm interested, like, why did they choose one kind of chicken over another per dish? I don't know how that works. But we actually liked it. But the only thing is, like I said, I think we did order too high of a spice level. If we were to get Pakistani food again, we would order level 1 spice. But the naan bread was outstanding, ridiculously good. And we did like the curries that we ordered. We just wish that it wasn't as hot. But very tasty. So my first experience with Pakistani food is a thumbs up. I know I didn't do it for Feasting with the King, but it was actually quite good. That was really the highlight of my day off on Tuesdays, trying a new kind of cuisine. Okay? Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's really it. Schedule and that. Now we're going to do shout-outs for contributions. All right? And then we're going to end the pre-stream and we're going to get into Ask the King. Fair enough? Okay. Let's get started. So, first we'll start on the YouTube side of things. We start off with Jose Martinez, who did the first super chat of the day, which is a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Jose. It's good to see you. Only Iced Infinite became a channel member this morning, and I appreciate that, Only Iced Infinite. Thank you for the support. Let's take a look at, if I can get it to, there we go, it's frozen for a second. Let's take a look at channel members. let's see how we're doing. Because remember, we are pushing towards the end of the month. We are pushing towards hitting this members goal for the month. It's possible we could hit it because we actually did see some increase recently. Currently, we're at 375 members. We went up. See that? So we have 25 members to go to hit the monthly goal. Guys, please, again, I urge you to become a member. If you're not, you get so many cool benefits, including right now voting on these ongoing Game Pass nights. It really benefits you to do so. Okay? And then we had the Infiltrator 101 who asked an incredibly stupid question that I'm just going to ignore because I'm not a dunce. So thank you for the super chat. Okay. Now, let us swap over to tips. Our first tip of the day is from Plum Goral, who tipped $10. Let's get Plum Goral up on the leaderboard. A $10 tip. Thank you very much, Plum Goral. And let's see what she has to say. Shit. How'd I screw that up? I moved. It's like jumping. You see that? It's like snapping to the left. Why is it doing that? Stay where I want you. I give up. It's fine. Okay. Plum Goral tipped $10 and says the following. Oh, by the way, here's a troll. Hold on. Just got to slap this guy in the face. There we go. Take that. Okay. Plum Goral says, I missed out on your big day. Happy late birthday, Phil. I watched later. By the way, thank you. I watched later, but I was moving to your new house on your actual 40th birthday. I've been following you since 2009, and it was sad to miss it, but we're loving our new home. I'm glad to hear that. Excited to be back on a stream and hang with the king again. And this will be a chill stream of Q&A. It's a good stream to return to. Welcome back, and thank you very much for the support. Awesome. Very good. Not an OIC sock, everyone. And by the way, it's actually not. The guy's joking. Tipped $10 and says, I hope this helps. Looking forward to the questions today. Will you play the New Game Plus in Elden Ring? We'd all love to see that. Shout out to... Oh. Basically, he's insulting the trolls. I don't want to read that. Okay? I appreciate the support. I don't want to do a public insult to people. I'm not going to waste my time with that. Thank you very much. He says, thank you for the stream, Phil. All right. Cool. Thank you for the support. Will I play New Game Plus in Elden Ring? I've already expressed my desire to play Elden Ring a second time with a new build. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. Stupid allergies are still acting up. Expect me to be rubbing my nose, sneezing, coughing today. Stupid allergies, okay? But anyway. Yeah, yes, I would consider it. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of New Game Plus, all right, in Elden Ring. I don't know if New Game Plus significantly ups the difficulty of the game. I'm assuming, do you keep all your items from the first run? Because here's the thing. If you keep all your shit from the first run, right? Then you could do a run. Like, let's say I wanted to start, I just want to do a pure sorceries build. I actually don't want to use physical weapons. I want to be casting spells the whole playthrough, right? Excuse me. Well, maybe I do that. Because I have a lot of sorceries unlocked. I have the best sorcery wands in the game already. So maybe I could do that in my second run, do like a sorcery playthrough and see how it goes, okay? So I don't know. I would need more information on it. But by the way, I mean, take a look. We're over 100 hours into Elden Ring. In fact, as of today, we're currently at 103 parts, I want to say. Yes, 103 parts, and we're still going. The game's not over yet. Okay. Stupid fucking mouse is pissing me off. Okay, I slammed it. It works now. So... we're not over yet. I'm going to guess that we're going to be, by the time we beat the game, probably between 110 to 115 hours of gameplay. That's my guess. Because I'm thinking I probably need another stream to do Consecrated Snowfield and head down to the giant area. I probably need another stream to finish that giant area and head out to this new dungeon thing that's floating that we saw previously from the 4 Belfries. We probably need another stream for the Halley Tree, if not 2, because people are saying the Halley Tree is like super tough. So if that's the case, that's another 10 to 12 hours, and then the end of the game. So probably, that's what I'm guessing. All right? I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But I guess we'll see, okay? And go from there. But yeah, after that, do you guys really want to see fucking Elden Ring again immediately? Let's be very honest here. Seriously? Do you want Elden Ring again right now? Right after I beat it? I feel like it would be the same situation as when I beat, like, Sekiro and other FromSoft games. You guys want to see it again for sure. I'd like to play it again. I don't want to do it right away. We can take a break, right? Even if it's just a month or two break, and then maybe it comes back as something I balance with other stuff. But I don't think we need to do it again immediately. Like, that's too much, I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's back to back to back too much. Give it a break, a little break. I'm not saying a forever break, a 6 to 8 month break and never go back. I'm saying give it a break for like a month and maybe go back and do the second run. Because I want to do a second run. I feel like using different kinds of combat mechanics like magic would be dramatically different from what I did this first run. Okay? Anyway, so we'll see what happens, okay? But it's a definite, yeah, I want to do it. It's just more of a question of when's the right time. Okay? Okay. Thank you for the tip. In the Pooper, tip me $1.49, says, would you play Ultra 4? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What the hell is Ultra 4? And by the way, you might want to be careful about what you put in your pooper. It's probably a pretty sensitive area. Okay? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, guys. So that's actually shout-outs. Now, normally, this would be the segment where I would say, oh, let's do open Q&A. But why the hell am I going to do that when we're about to start a whole show that's Q&A? That would be pretty stupid, don't you think? Right? So I think what we're going to do, unless there's a last-minute contribution here to shout out, I'm going to end the pre-stream. I'm going to take a piss. Right? And then when we come right back, and it's going to be Ask the King, we're going to get started with the show. The way it goes is basically hour increments. I'll do an hour of Q&A, I'll take a short break, hour of Q&A, short break, and then the finale. Okay? Okay. Are we good? Are we done? Is that it? I think so. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's end it. Let's end this. This will be the shortest pre-show I've done in a long time. That's because we're doing Q&A officially in the show rather than at the end of the stream. So, all right. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started. Sounds good to me.